Hello, this is Albert Gourier with my latest installment of Slammin Synapses right here on YouTube and Facebook. Things that I've learned from previous ones is that I tend to say so a lot. Well, learned that from the earlier ones. Also, I've learned that from looking at the clip that gets chosen for the YouTube portion, somehow I look like a chipmunk with something stuck in my cheeks. So if anyone out there knows how I can adjust that so that I don't look like a chipmunk, feel free to drop me a comment. Today, I'm going to be discussing the former WWE champion, John Cena. And I just have to say this much. I really do miss the John Cena that started out in WWE. I miss the John Cena that went about saying ruthless aggression. Ah. It's like he came in, he freestyled a lot, he got over with everyone. He was pretty much straightforward. He pretty much moved to his own beat. And when he started out, he was much, much better. Much, much more of a person that you want to see on a regular basis. Nowadays, it's as if and this has become very obvious, he's become corporate in his interviews, in his style, and just the way that he portrays himself in WWE. Now, if you remember a time where Steve Austin was going through a time frame where he was going to be the corporate person, and they dressed him up in suits and a tie, and he came out being Steve Austin, being Mr. Business. Then it wound up with him stone cold stunnering Vince and ended that angle. Of course, we also remember the time that Mick Foley did that. Of course, he kind of pushed it off as a joke afterwards and got rid of that angle. And of course, you have The Rock, who was pushed as the corporate champion. But the difference between The Rock and Cena is that The Rock knew how to put an attitude out there that was like, okay, I'm corporate, but for the most part, I'm still The Rock. I'm still this lay the smack down on your Rudy Poo candy ass type character. Now, John Cena, on the other hand, has evolved into a corporate image, but he doesn't have that feel anymore, which is why I think people don't like him or pretty much don't show him the respect that he should get because he's come so far from what he used to be. Now, if he maintained that image, maintained that attitude, and kept it going forward, then I think people would have more respect for him and would tend to appreciate him more. But the more he goes into the corporate stance with all his interviews, because right now, if you listen to his interviews, they sound like crap. It's like he doesn't have that edge without it's like, okay, I gotta go see a John Cena match. I gotta see what he's gonna do. No, instead it's this candy coated interview segment that just always comes off as cheesy in some cases or just out and out forced. So, and I think if he goes back to his original days, he would definitely be more. What's what I'm looking for here? I think more people will look at him and actually would want to go for him. Also, I think another issue that goes against him is that people can talk about Triple H all they want, but John Cena doesn't know how to sell stuff. In wrestling, it's all about selling stuff. It's all about selling moves, getting your opponent over. But I don't see where he does that. It's like you could beat him up, you can throw him off a cliff, you can run him over with a steamroller, and he's just going to come back the next day and not show any effects of what was done to him. And that's another thing that I think works in his detriment because, in addition to his crappy interviews, is that you never have any sense of belief that that anything's going to happen to him. If you look at the older days, and I'm definitely going to go into detail at a later time with regard to this, but if you go into the earlier days of wrestling, you would see compelling storylines where if there was an injury, you would definitely see guys selling it for quite some time. No more. You wouldn't see them like get hit with something, then the next day just come out, brush off, and say, "I'm Superman." No, these people had casts or braces, and they knew how to sell their injuries. John Cena doesn't, and when he does, it's kind of tongue in cheek. So I do miss the old John Cena, and I don't think we'll ever see him again. I hope we do, but I don't think we ever will. Because he's come a long way from being this ruthless aggression to, "Hi, I'm John Cena." And there'll always be comparisons drawn between him and The Rock, but they're more contrasting than anything. I mean, Rock has actually gone on to become a movie star, whereas John Cena acts in films promoted by WWE. It's not to slam his acting ability, but anybody who is in movies that's under the banner of the federation that they work for isn't really a movie star. Of course, that's another topic for another time there. But if you have any comments, feel free to drop me one, either on here, either on YouTube site or the Facebook site. Feel free to let me know how you feel. Drop me an email, and I will be able to answer them or give my opinion on them at a later time. Drop me an email at agourier@yahoo.com. Once again, that's agourrier @yahoo.com. Be more than happy to read those. I'll read everything that comes into me. For now, this is Albert Gourier from Synapses, signing out.